Hello, good morning, everybody. I hope you are having a good morning. So today is the beginning of the week. Today is Monday. So we'll look at just from the weekly point of view. Then we'll scale down to daily. Then we scale down to hours. Then if time allows us, we'll scale down even lower. So we'll start off with the chart on our screen, Euro USD. Euro USD. Start off from the weekly. This is what we have. So today I'm going to add one more tool. I'm going to use Fibonacci. I'm going to use Fib levels. This is the swing high, and then we have this as the swing low. So we basically expect price to retrace back up to around 50% retracement. This is what we expected to happen. We expected price from this point, it was supposed to go up to either this level here, or it was supposed to proceed up, or the maximum it was supposed to go up to is this, and so far none of that has happened. Instead, the price moved massively to the lower side and even went below a very significant level, which is this one. So this should be a sign for a sell. We are now sellers now. The fact that the price closed below 1.1082 is a very good indication that we are still continuing to the lower side. So you should be waiting for price to get back to 1.1082. Wait for price to pull back up to that level. Expect price to retrace back up to the level which I've mentioned. That is up to 1.1082. Then pick a sell from that point. Expect that sell to take price even lower. So if you are looking at this chart now, you should be expecting more sell positions, but only if price gets back to the level which I've mentioned. So just a retracement up to this level, then you pick a sell, hold onto that sell up to the swing low, which is here, somewhere around this level here. So we check at this chart from the daily. This is what we have. Daily we have a level here. This is a very good level. It was used previously as a support. Then we have the next time as a support. Then we had a break. Then it came back, used the same place as a resistance, this one. Then it broke above. Then we had the same place as a support. So now that the price is below this level, this should give us the correct place to actually look for a sell from up to this point here. So basically, just wait for a retracement. Then you should be able to pick a sell from somewhere around this level up to 1.0881, this one. So basically we are waiting for a sell from this level. If price comes back to that place, then we'll expect a very good low risk sell up to around 10881, which is here. On the first, we have the same thing, the same level. This is where we sold from last week. We want now price to pull back perfectly up to the level which I've mentioned. Then you should be able to pick a sell from that point, expecting that sell to push us low up to 1.0881. So we'll move forward. We move forward to our next symbol, and that should be GBP USD. So one thing, GBP USD and Euro USD tends to move in the same direction. So if you see a very good sell on GBP USD, you should be expecting the same sell on Euro USD. So we check GBP USD, we see exactly if that is true, if there's any sign. GBP USD, this one. GBP USD, we have this one here. Start off with the weekly. Weekly, actually there's something different here. Weekly shows us the sign that the price may continue to the upper side. So this is a bit contradictory because we have seen a sell on Euro USD. We are now seeing a buy on GBP USD, yet the two are supposed to be moving in the same direction. So either one of them is correct. They cannot be moving in opposite directions. If this is to move upwards, then expect Euro USD to follow it. So what that means, the buy we are seeing here actually looks very clearer, and also the sell we are seeing on Euro USD also looks very clear, which means that if anything is to go by, then we're supposed to look for a trade. Whichever, if this one shows you a good buy, you should be able to pick that buy. If you see a good sell on Euro USD, also pick that sell. So these two are supposed to be moving together. It's true they're supposed to be moving together, but as we're seeing now, they are somehow negatively correlated as we're speaking. They're moving in opposite directions. So if you see a buy here, pick that buy, hold on to that buy, and then when you see a sell, exit and then pick a sell. And the same time, while you're seeing a buy here, if you see a sell here, also hold on to that trade, pick that sell, hold on until you see a buy. The GBPSD will move to daily. Daily we have daily we have a level here. This is a very good, we had a support, yeah, we had a resistance, we had a resistance here, we had a resistance here. Then the price went above. Somehow we are still above the same level, so we are waiting for a buy. If price gives us a buy signal somewhere in between this zone here, then that will give us the correct place to look for a buy. It will give us the best place to pick a buy from. So if you are looking at this chart now, you are looking forward to trading this pair. If you see a buy signal from where I've marked, pick that buy, hold on to that buy, expect it to push price even higher. So that should make some sense that we are looking for a buy now. We are basically holding on to a buy perspective on GBPSD, and we expect price to only retrace up to the red line, up to this red zone here, where we'll pick a buy up to 1.3306, somewhere at the top, this one here. And the force looks like we are downwards. First, I will draw this line like this. Actually, I want to mark it a bit wide, such that we now have, just a second, we now have the entire place, this one, and also this one. So what this means is you're supposed to pick a buy position. When anytime the price is in between this range here, pick a buy, hold on to that buy up to this level here. So the indicator which you're having on our screen is currently showing us a sell, but if it turns into a buy, then that will give you actually the correct place to look for a buy from. So just ensure you pick that buy, hold on to that buy, expect it to push price up to 1.3306 here. So we are going to move forward. We are going to move forward to the next symbol, USDJPY. This one also we look at it from the weekly. And if you can remember last week, this was supposed to be a sell for us. There was a bearish engulfing candle. We expect that candle to push price even lower, but somehow the price moved up and even closed above the previous week's opening price. So this one here, this is a very good level. We are basically waiting for a retracement up to this level, 108.61, 108.38, so that we can buy it from that point up to this level here. So the idea is not to buy it now. The idea is to wait for price to retrace back up to the level which I've mentioned. Expect price to pull back up to 108.39. So that should happen exactly like it should not take half of this week. Like it should not happen before Thursday. It should happen before Thursday. That is before Wednesday. We expect price to shall have retraced up to this point, so that we can buy it, expecting that buy to push us even higher. So we want to buy when we've not exhausted the weekly move. That's what I'm saying. So there's a move that price should be taking the entire week. There's a move that price should be taking on the daily basis. There's a move that price should be taking on the 4-hour basis. So we want price to retrace back immediately to this level, that is before Wednesday, so that we can pick a buy at the lowest rates possible, expecting that buy to push us up to 111.91, this one here. So we'll move to our next symbol, that should be SP500. We look at this from the weekly. The price basically went above a weekly trend line, which is this. So what this simply means is we are still upwards. If you are looking at this chart now, we are still upwards, which means the buy we are seeing on USDJPY is likely a very good one. So wait for retracement the same way we're waiting for retracement on USDJPY. Look for low risk buy and then pick that buy. So as we mentioned, SP500 and USDJPY actually are moving in the same direction, which means if you see a buy on SP500, expect the same buy on USDJPY. So for some times now, the two have been moving in the same direction. So if you see any buy, pick it. If you see a buy on both symbols, you should be able to pick both of them. And if you see a buy on one while the other is not showing you any clear signal, step out. Do not hold on to that trade. Does that make sense? So that's basically what we're waiting for. We want price to give us a clear buy signal on the two pairs so that we can buy both of them at the same time. That's the correct time to trade, when two are showing you the same thing. So we'll move forward. We move to our next symbol. I'll check this symbol from a lesser time, daily. This is the level where price should retrace back up to. So if you are looking at the daily chart, expect a possible retracement up to this point, and we have this one here. So technically we expect a retracement from this point where we'll pick a buy. We expect that buy to take us even higher. So we move forward to our next symbol, Brent oil. Brent oil is upwards, as we mentioned last week. So we took a buy from somewhere around this point, if you can remember. This is a few weeks ago. We actually successfully took a buy here. We are still holding on to that buy position. We expect price to take us up to this level here, where we'll pick a sell, expecting the sell to push us back to this level with 7.78, and should even break to the lower side. So on this chart, I don't want to add much. I'm still holding on to just the trade which I had previously. I don't want to add anything. So the idea is to hold on to the previous trade, expecting price to move up to this resistance, this one here. This one. So we'll move forward. We'll move forward to our last symbol, which is gold. So far, gold is bearish, and if you draw this like this, you can basically see that the move which you expect at the upper side has been violated. So the price is continuing to the lower side. We expect it to proceed downwards up to this level, so that we can buy it from that point up to that point before we can pick a sell. Technically, this is what we expect to be happening. Let the price retrace back to the upper side. Let it move to the lower side, or let it continue downwards up to the lower trend line. Then if it bounces off from the lower trend line, we'll pick a buy. If it bounces off, if it breaks below that trend line, then we will expect a sell even lower. So if you are looking at this chart now, you better be expecting a break to the lower side. Expect price to break downwards. Then if that happens, that it is true that the price closed below and is able to sustain that break, you should be able to hold on to a sell. So the sell which I'm saying, hold on to that sell up to the first take profit, which is this. I'm going to draw this as a zone. Hold on to up to that point. Then we also have this level here. If you check weekly, it looks much more clearer. Daily, it looks much. So this is the level here. We expect price to come back up to the very zone which I've drawn at the bottom, this one here. If price can pull back, can retrace back to this level here, then that will give us the correct place to actually look for a buy from. So if you are looking at this chart now, expect that move, the one which I've said, to the lower side, and expect it to move ultimately up to 1373.06 and 1358.38. So thank you very much. That should bring us to the end of today's market overview. If you're looking at this, if you are attending this webinar now, you should be able to post any questions. If you have any questions, kindly feel free to post them for me under the chat option. If you have any pair which you want me to talk about which I'm not looking at now, please feel free to talk to me about it. Inform me. I'll be able to look at it just the same way I've been looking at the others. And that should be it. See you again tomorrow at the same time. Bye.